Hello, you buggers. It's DKG, and you're listening to the Night Zone. Yeah. Okay. I just want to apologise to a few people about my last video. It wasn't to everyone's appeal, and I had some particular reasons for doing it. And well, if you don't know, it was basically a video of me trolling the trolls, King Troll, Mr. Wyatt, and some of his little minions. My God, those people just showed themselves to be more stupid than I actually thought they were. But you know, what can you say? So anyway, I just want to apologise to those people who thought I shouldn't have gone there. I have my reasons why, which I'm not going to go into. But anyway, it will be going off the air. It will be going off my channel. I don't want it there. There's a couple of people that said they might host it, so it might go somewhere else. I'll keep it there. It will just be unlisted, so you know, so all your fabulous comments will still be there, and I'll probably put a link in this video so you can still go back there. Okay, but let's move on. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the Cardiccaster. Now, I'll just angle the camera down a bit. Hold on. So the big thing for the Cardiccaster was getting the neck side out, and as you can see, it's had a carbon fibre wrapped onto it. Now, this was really tricky. Now, obviously, you know, if you have a mould, you can lay the carbon fibre down and work it in. But obviously, with this, I wanted to get the carbon fibre along the back and around the sides and pressed into the truss rod cover. So this is not the way to work with carbon fibre, but I've managed to achieve it. It's basically laid down and pulled round with some greaseproof baking paper that will pull away once the resin's gone off, and the truss rod was basically forced into the channel that I've already cut, and that will get some cleaning up, and that was to give us some kind of rigidity, some lateral torsional rigidity, and it's done the job. I mean, if I try to twist this neck, you know, it will twist if you really force it, but then so does any other neck in this state. So it's got pretty much about the same amount of what would you call torsional resistance than any other neck does. So that's good. Now, also, under here is a silicone mould of a fretboard. It's the fretboard that I showed you ages ago that I was smoothing out. Had a couple of accidents with it while it was in a kind of like a finished state, and I had to do rebits of it and clean it up. Underneath here, there is a fretboard that it's a 12-inch radius, and it has been polished to a glass mirror finish. So when I mould something, it will come out pretty much as a glass polished finish. So that should be good. I haven't decided what composite I'm going to build the fretboard out of. I might try first of all with a one layer of carbon fibre, and so we've got, you know, some kind of strength at the top. I may just try some more newspaper. I mean, the great thing is, once you've got the mould, you can just keep knocking them out. So that's got to get a fiberglass back to it, so it's nice and straight. The aluminium will be embedded into the fiberglass to give it the mould strength, so it won't twist, warp, and go out of shape. But anyway, that's the Cardocaster coming along lovely. But this is the other thing I wanted to show you today. Hang on, let me get some bit of protection down. Haha, look at this. A very, very cute little Banjolele. Or Banjo. And there's the problem. Let me show you in here. The neck is just, it's just gone. It's split there. So I'm going to find out what's going on there and put it back together again. Now, I'm not too sure if this neck is glued at this point, at the along here. It's actually broken away. So I might find that once I take the strings off, dog's barking. Once I take the strings off, the whole thing will lift away. How is this part of the heel fixed to the banjo? Because there is this kind of bolt here which runs through there and into that point. That basically just holds the thing together. Now, has this just broken at that point, and so it's just not working in the way it's supposed to? I don't know. Well, I've got no idea what to do. Well, should I say, I've got no idea about these sort of things. This is the first one I've seen, so first thing to do is just to loosen the strings a bit. Let's see what happens. Right, so there we go. That's the strings off. Now, I'll probably get some new strings on there, but I've put the strings in this jar, which is just the right shape and size for handling strings, with some of my secret cleaning solution. So we'll have something to put back on, maybe. So let's have a look. The tail pieces comes loose after you've taken the strings off, but we can leave that there. The neck, now there's the bridge, put that out of the way. So the neck, it wobbles kind of free. Now I wonder if this bolt has anything to do with that. So let's take these screws off to have a look. Now obviously I could just inject some glue into all of this and just like close it shut. Ideally I'd want to clean all the glue that's off there that already is, but let's have a look. Okay, so I have a spanner the right size. The question is, I mean, I really don't know what the how this is tensioned up, how this thing works. There you go, that comes off. Right, so I'm guessing that there's going to be a stud that runs into here, and so if I take my little tooly wooly, yeah, see this is starting to move, and there it starts to come loose. Tell you what, As far as the bolt-on neck is concerned, it's quite interesting. Gives me a few ideas. So as far as repairing this is concerned, it's all going to be able to come apart. I'll be able to clean the glue off where the break is, re-glue it, clamp it up, and we job done. There we go. Oh, I tell you what, I can see why it broke, because there's a big on my manky nails, but I can see there's a big lump of glue where this join was, so it didn't join together very well to start with. That bolt is off center. I don't know if that's on purpose. Right, so let's take this out. That's not going to go on there, so I can keep it safe. So I'll put that together. Keep all that safe. All those bits out of the way. Right. Different size. I reckon it's a 10mm. Yep. Oh god, really loose as well. So here we go. Da, 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 da. There we go. Neck off. I said neck off. Right, now let's have a little look around this. Now the drum skin, apart from kind of dust, because obviously this has been sitting around, you can't play it in that kind of state. It's got some little blemishes on there, so I'll try and clean that up, get all the chrome bits all nice. I mean, I could dismantle it completely, but I think that would be going too far. But it will certainly get a good clean up before it goes back together again. So let's put that out of the way. Let's have a look at the offending join. Right. Now that snicks together okay. But this just looks like it's the way the glue is along here. There's a big lump there. There's a bit of a gouge there. Just feels to me that it wasn't put together that well to start with. So the obvious thing to do is to get this piece and this piece nice and flat and rejoin them. The other thing I could do, let's be fair, is I could mix up some epoxy and just bond them together. I mean, they fit together really, really well. I could just epoxy them together, or I could use some polyurethane glue. That would do it. But I can hear you saying, do it properly done. Don't just go the easy route, do it properly. If I start doing it properly, I have to finish doing it properly. Okay, so I don't have things lying around here to do that job. Now, yeah, that's not a very good sign. Now, let's see if I can show you this. If you take this blade, and put it on top of there, you can just see a weeny tiny little gap in the middle. Maybe you can't. Take this bit. You can see. Can you see? Can you see this? Not particularly very well, but maybe that angle there. You can just see it dips in the middle. So the whole thing just dips either side. Like I say, decent epoxy would fix that. Or we could try doing it properly. Start with a nice flat surface, and let's get some nice grip. Do something just a wee bit tougher than that. I mean, this will give me a nice flat surface, especially if I didn't have that on there. I could double side all this down. Let's just see where we get. I've got some 320 there, I've got some 120 here. Keeping it flat. You've got to be careful not to rock and roll it, because you don't want these. You don't want it to curl or take divots away from the side. It will bond together nicely, but it will just look crap now at 120. It's just tickling it. So let's go up to 80. Maybe not where the crease is. Let's see how that's doing it. Okay. Taking it down. If I get a pen, just colour it in. Right, so there you go. Look at that. Now, as I sand it, so you can see where that divot is. I'm alternating the pressure from this side to this side, turning it around, just so you don't end up taking off too much off one end. Get in there. getting better. It's getting better all the time. Someone's got the sneezes. I've got all these little bits of mahogany dust coming off it. I'll just keep the dust for the moment, just in case I need to do any kind of filling. I shouldn't need to. Okay. That's damn close. Damn close. I mean, almost. That's good enough. I just want to kind of get to. Yeah, I was just going to say. I just want to get to the point where I'm starting to see that disappear. And then I'll be happy. Pencil, I want a pencil. Where's a pencil? So, if a luthier is someone who builds lutes, what do you call someone who builds a ukulele? A uke? This is going to be quite interesting. Trying to sound this, but I've got a feeling this is not going to be quite as traumatic as I think it was going to be. It's not quite so much to take off here as the glue. I want to get rid of that glue. I don't want to be bonding to crappy glue. Okay, let's give this a go. Awkward because the headstock actually sits around about the same place as that part of the heel is, and this is going to be harder to keep flat, so I'm just going to draw it, I think, pushing down, keeping the pressure on the wood. Just want to kind of get rid of that glue. And if I can get rid of the glue enough that I can actually go in with the blade and take the rest off, that will be fine. Let's try that. Let's use Mr. Pencil again. Colour that in. Starting to see wood fibres again. There's a little hole there. I don't know why that's there. See that little hole? I don't know. It's part of the construction process, maybe. Getting my microphone tangled up. Right. Get off. Now then. It's going to be interesting in clamping this up. Because I don't want it slippy sliding around. Because this would have been glued up and then shaped. And it would have been glued nice and flat. And this is going to be quite tricky. Now I could do the old trick of, let me get rid of that. I could do the trick of look at carbon fibre. I've just got it bloody everywhere. Right, I could do a trick of putting some pins in, so as I glue it up it doesn't slip. Or I could just keep a damn good eye on it as I glue it up. And I can't even put anything like flat against this side to hold it in place. I could bolt it on, I suppose, maybe. It's going to need some sanding. You know, I've taken a fraction of a millimetre off, and you've already got like a tiny weeny little kink in the heel. So it's going to need some sanding around here. And I don't know if this varnish was coloured. I don't particularly want to get into the point where I'm just taking the whole varnish off. We shall see. I'll come back to this another time. Ooh. So, oh hello. So that would do your buggers for now, I guess. I'm going to show you something else that I was experimenting with. Now you know me. I've been loving the carbon fibre, and I've been doing some experiments with making what you would call carbon fibre impregnated expanding foam. So here's some expanding foam there, normal expanding foam, and here's some impregnated with some carbon fibre in a special sauce that I've developed. Flippin' heck! Oh God, it went eventually, but well, it went where there wasn't very much carbon fibre. So that's a kind of a weak mix. And I've also done this. Ignore the cardboard. This is not a part of a cardboard guitar. This was just part of the mould I used. But carbon fibre impregnated rigid expanding foam. Oh, Jesus Christ! No, not a chance. Now, on its own, it's nothing particularly special because you can make you can use wood. That's carbon fibre, natural carbon fibre, and cellulose. This is basically the same thing. I wish I could figure out a way to put this in a can though, because can you imagine same stuff you use for like filling gaps in wall cavities or whatever, but it was carbon fibre, and when it went off it was it was beaching strong. God, the stuff you could build with this. Maybe guitars, maybe. But yeah. Anyone know anything about patents?